Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Full Monty Coding. This is your boy Charles. If you want to learn more coding techniques, be sure to hit that subscribe button. In this video, we're going to be going over a couple solutions for one of the LeetCode problems called Two Sum. So let's go ahead and head on over to our favorite code editor and let's get after it. All right, we're back here at our code editor, Replit, found at replit.com. I'll leave the link down in the description. And I got here one of the LeetCode problems. This one is actually the first one, I believe, called Two Sum. You can find the link for LeetCode down in the description. So the Two Sum problem states, given a list of integers, nums, and an integer target, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution, and you may not use the same element twice. You can return the answer in any order. And it gives a few examples. I just got this example. This is actually a good problem to understand why we learn algorithms. So let's go ahead and go over this to see how we can attack this problem. So we got our values, we got our index, and our target number. We need to check what two numbers within the list of the values have a sum equal to the target value. We start with the first index, which is 0, and the value is 2, and check to see if the next index adds to the target. If not, we move on to the next index and check the index 0 and index 2. Since index 0 and 2, which are the values 2 and 7, equal to the target value, which is 9, we'll return the two indices. Now we'll continue to check the other indices with index 0. Once we reach the last index, we now check index 1 with the others and keep checking and returning the indices that equal to the target value. This process will continue until all the values are checked in the list. Very similar to the bubble sort algorithm. 16 checks if greater than the next index. If not, it moves to the next index to check. So 33 then checks with 21, and then it swaps because our condition says we'll swap the values. And then 33 will move on to check 3, it swaps. Then it starts from the very beginning, 16, 22, 21, 3, swaps with 21, swaps with 3, 21 checks with 3, or 33, and then 16 checks with 3, then swaps. You can check out the bubble sort video link. I'll leave it in the description as well for more explanation of bubble sort. So back to our code editor. Let's make a list of nums, which we'll just copy these values in the example and put it in here. And we need our target value. Now we need to loop through the length of the list. So we'll make a for loop, range, length of nums. I'll make a print statement for I, and we'll go ahead and run it. So now we are looping through the index. Now let's make a nested loop. And this one's going to loop through the range, but starts with the next index from our outer loop. So I plus 1, and it'll be the length of nums. We'll make another print. And we'll run it. And we have our inner loop looping through the list starting from the next index of the outer loop. So now we just need to set our condition. Let's make a variable sum and set it equal to our list of nums of index I plus our list of nums index from our inner loop j. Now we'll set our condition if sum is equal to the target, then we will print out the indices I and j. Let's go ahead and run it. So now it's printing out the indices that equal to the target. Now all we need to do is set this as a function, and we'll define it, and we'll call it Two Sum, and give it some parameters, nums and target, and we'll put this inside. Call our function Two Sum and pass in the parameters conveniently named nums and target. We'll comment these print statements out, and we'll go ahead and run it. And that's it. This is actually not the most efficient way to solve the problem, but this gives a good understanding of how we can apply algorithms to solve problems or write code. Now, for a more efficient way, let's go ahead and comment this out. Now, for an efficient way to solve this problem, we are going to use a dictionary to store the index and values from the list by using a Python built-in function, enumerate. The enumerate function automatically sets an index for each of the values in a list. And as we store these values, we will check the condition to see if the current value and a value in the dictionary adds up equal to the target and returns the indices. So let's go ahead and bring back our nums and target. Let's bring them back down here. And let's create an empty dictionary. This is where we're going to store our values from the function enumerate. Now let's go ahead and create a for loop, and we're going to use two variables, index and numbers, in enumerate, and we're going to pass in our list inside there. Let's go ahead and make a print, and we'll put index and numbers in a list. We'll run it, and now it's displaying index with the value in a list. Now we need to get the difference of the target and the value. So let's create another variable, and we're going to set that one equal to target minus numbers, and we're going to print out our difference, and let's run it. So now it's printing out the difference between the target minus the value as it's looping through. So 7 is the difference, 4, 2, 1, 8, and 5. Now that we got our difference, we can now set our condition. If the difference is in our dictionary, then we'll print out our dictionary difference and our index. Else, we'll add the value to our dictionary. So dictionary numbers is going to be equal to our index, and we're going to print out our dictionary as well. Let's go ahead and run it. So with our first iteration, we have our enumerated list. Index is 0, value is 2, our difference, which is our target, minus value, which is 7, and since we don't have anything in our dictionary, it goes and adds our key value pair. Second iteration, it does the same thing with the first, but since there's no 4 that matches the difference, it just adds it to the dictionary. Third iteration, we now have a difference value that matches inside the dictionary. So it returns the indexes 0 and 2. And it repeats the process until the loop is complete. We're going to comment out our print statements. And we're just leaving what we want to return. We're going to make that into a function just like our previous solution. So def two sum, and we're going to pass in our parameters, or set the parameters, target nums, and we're going to call two sum and pass in our parameters. Run it, and there's our indices that we want to return. Actually, if we want to put it into a list, we'll just go back to our print and we'll wrap it in a list here. And so when we run it, it makes it look more readable. So that's index 0, 2, index 3 and 4, and index 1 and 5. So there's the two solutions to the problem. Hope you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll keep these videos coming. See you next time.